Alright, Shalom Hebrews. This is a message from the Israelite Brotherhood. Alright, Israelites, I'm just constantly going over Israelite information and just, that's just what I just spend my time doing, if I'm not doing, some other little deeds and stuff. And, man, I was thinking this, that, from just, understanding, the different organizations and so forth that exist in the Israelite community and their doctrines and so forth. And then, I get to thinking, man, how we got to be blessed, especially the Israelites that's listening to the Israelite Brotherhood and understand what I'm saying and what I'm trying to present to the Israelite community. I'm here to tell you that those Israelites, we family, the Israelites that, congregate with me and that subscribe and so forth, that's in touch with this information, we family, just being Israelites, period. All right. I believe most certainly that our ancestors, because you know how they say, well, you the seed of your father, we know a lot and went down since our ancestors abandoned the covenant, during the Babylonian wars. A lot of time none elapsed, but basically, I think that we still the seed and got the seed of our, got the spirit, in a sense, man, of our forefathers. So, if it's easy for you to accept and understand Yah worship and embrace it, and especially understand this history that I'm presenting to the Israelite community, I believe that, man, that you're going to be most definitely of the seed of David. It was all kind of promises given to King David, how his seed would be on top and would, be, righteous in the kingdom, representing Yah, as long as they follow covenant. I got a video explaining the King David title. But what I'm trying to say is that, it was a promise made to King David. So it's going to have to be some type of substance in King David's children's DNA that would make them more acceptable to truth. More acceptable to truth, because if you look back at our history and so forth, man, it was the King David descendants that was the Yah worshippers to the heart. That's where most of the kings come from, and that the Yah worshippers, mean that the Yah worshippers gon' all mostly come from the tribe of Judah. Gonna come from the tribe of Judah. But King David, being the main strong, Saul was a good Yah worshiper too, but we know that King Saul let the material things come between him and following Almighty Yah's order and so forth. But how King David, man, was just all out Yah worship, but he let, women interfere a little bit with his mission. That'd be the Queen of Sheba, Solomon's mother. But look, King David descendants, mostly, man, that's where all the Yah worshippers, the Yah worshippers gonna be at, the good strong Yah worshippers. That's and that ran, Judah, the kings and so forth. Whereas you look at the northern kingdom, man, that man, it was easily, for the other tribes and so forth to succumb to false God worship and so forth. And then, it's a representation of, all the other tribes, but mostly the tribe of Ephraim. And then how that they was, you know, multiple God worshippers, from the system that Jeroboam brung out of Egypt after Solomon's death. and then how that stayed on the northern kingdom. So, the northern kingdom fell off Yah worship way back, way back long time ago. Way back long time ago. So I believe that if it's hard for you to wake up to this truth that I'm presenting, I believe that your forefathers' lineage is going to be over here. And that these are the Israelites in the northern kingdom that succumbed to Egyptian worship and so forth, and kind of like promoted it, even though I'm finna show that they were still around and that they eventually had to succumb to Judah's rule, you know what I'm saying, the real Yah worshippers. So if you can understand and been embracing this truth from the start, our spirit is united and we're going to be real brothers and sisters from the tribe of Judah. You know what I'm saying? And this history that I show is different from all other Israelite history. And then this is where our heritage lie at. Even though it was some bad, kings from, the tribe of Judah, but, this is where the Yah worship was the strongest. And it was a promise given to King David that how his seed would, be on top, on high, and being, kingly with the knowledge, it's still fulfilling that prophecy to King David out here had kings around. Almighty Yah is great. But like I say, if you able to embrace this truth that I show, this is where your heritage gonna be. I strongly believe this, and I've been studying a long time, and I bring truth that's new to the Israelite community. Truth that's new to the Israelite community. But if you having a hard time embracing this easy, simple truth, and you believe in the myths and the demigods and so forth, that 9 out of 10, that your heritage gonna be amongst these Israelites right here, these tribes from the northern kingdom. But this is what I want to show the Israelites. Look, can we Israelites get back control of our heritage? I say we can, and it's real easy if you understand the differences in, the people who got our heritage and the timelines and events. Sometimes it take a little while to get around to understanding that. But I believe if you pray to Almighty Yah and you trust in Him and you don't include no demigods or no other association with Almighty Yah, is that He'll lead you to the truth. That He gonna lead you to the truth. And if you done made it to my site and listening to me, then I believe that He bringing you here. Like I say, I believe that we're gonna be the descendants of the tribe of Judah and where the strong Yah worship at, because this is what we do here. We are strong Yah worshipers, and we don't include no other entities with Yah worship. When I'm explaining this history, I'm not speaking in favor of the demigods or the gods that's outside our father prophet Abraham's worship, or our father Isaac and our father Jacob's worship and so forth. Alright, Israelites, man, I want to show this right here, and in this what'll make it hard for the Israelites that I say that it's kind of like got northern kingdoms heritage, how it's easy for them to latch on the myths and so forth. See, if you're going to be a descendant of King David, then it's going to be something in you to wake up to the truth way easier than the Israelite that's not under that promise. That promise that was given to King David. It said his seed. And then, we know that his seed would be, spread out during captivity. So us Israelites that's waking up easily and can understand the truth, we gonna be, from the tribe of Judah and of that promise. And those Israelites that struggling to understand and can't grasp and can't, figure it out and constantly rely on myths to validate they Israelite heritage. Those gonna be the Israelites that believe in demigods, that believe all kind of myths, and ain't just trusting in the Almighty Yah. Their heritage gonna be in the northern kingdom. I'm here to tell you. I'm here to tell you. All right, Israelites. I was looking at this one thing, and I don't wanna, I ain't picking on no Israelites. Sometimes I'll flex because, I figure if I flex hard enough that some of the Israelites, might, you know, pay attention and understand what I'm saying when I'm trying to draw the differences between Jewish history and real Israelite history coming after Tanakh. Sometimes you got to flex. But this one brother with the title Jew, he said, he said that one is a picture of a Jew, one is a picture of a European convert co-playing as a Jew. Now, Israelites that believe that we are Jewish are even associated with that title gonna be lost, confused, and I'm gonna show you that the Jews are the people that we abandon our heritage to, and man, they know who they are. The Israelites don't know that. That's why come this, this stuff is going on, and then Israelites are caught up in the confusion because they don't know the differences, and then that's why come I say you're a descendant of Judah and King David, where that promise at when you can understand real truth. Now, some Israelites think they got the truth. They got the truth of the other people's history that they then embraced as truth. That's what they have, but actual truth on Israelite history and heritage, they don't have. They don't have, especially if you believe in that 10 lost tribes stuff. Now, this is where the Jewish community kind of like based their foundation on the 10 lost tribe myth, and then say that the tribe of Judah was the only one left in the land after the so-called Assyrian problems, and then that the name formed from them because the tribe of Judah, Benjamin, and Simon, that compassed the territories that Judah controlled, and they say that that's where it come from because they was the only one left, and then that during the Babylonian times that the name that they was taken to different parts and different places, which started the Jewish diaspora. Now I didn't explain men quite so many times, and it's just baffling that Israelites ain't rushing to this site, to try to get an understanding. Is that we abandon our heritage to two groups of people that control our heritage today. Now, why come Israelites can't understand that they instantly think, they instantly think that anybody that claim our heritage, men are gonna be some converts, they converted, they khazars, and all this old mad stuff. I'm talking about some pure mad, crazy history that was created later, to throw the world off. But, Israelites think that, like say for instance, this guy right here. You know what I'm saying? Many think he's a convert, that he converted to the Israelite heritage and that Judaism belonged to us and that, men Israelites be in left field and don't understand no real substance that make up the the truth, man, about the Israelite heritage. Man, it's kind of hard to put it in words, but it's kind of like, man, it's baffling in a sense because, as much as Israelites read the Bible, it seemed like that they would have like none seen in the book of Jeremiah, where the whole Israelite nation went into Africa, and then reading other parts of the Tanakh, seeing that the Israelites never left during the so-called Assyrian captivity, that they were still there. Now, I just want to prove that the people that we abandoned our heritage to basically get their heritage in everything off the basically after the destruction of the Israelite nation, and then how did they was there during our destruction, and then how did their history came in after we was destroyed and during the Babylonian wars, and that all the history after the Babylonian wars, which is the close of the Tanakh, during Malachi times, so I think that's a little bit during Persian times, that was the end. That was the end of Israelite history, and that other people was in our heritage, and that they gonna attach themselves to the Israelite history, and man, they do it so cleverly. And I'm gonna show you Israelites some of this. So when you Israelites saying that you are Jewish or that you a Jew, man, you could be Jewish and Jew by conversions like all the other peoples that didn't accept the religion and that follow its creed. All right, that's cool. But for you Israelites to say and try to capture that title Jew and say that it's ours and it belongs to us, man, we can't never get back control of our heritage. We ain't gonna never get back control of our heritage claiming the other people's uh, uh, heritage and so forth, and it's easily to tell the difference between their heritage and ours, and I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you real easy. We're gonna read for a little bit, but I'm gonna show you, Israelites, man, the differences. Now, I didn't explain those are Amorites. Those are Amorites, and they been in our heritage, and them gonna be just some that come from Babylon that were scribes. Them, that's Ashkenazi, been in our heritage since the Babylonian wars. Almighty Yah told them to pull up through Prophet Jeremiah, the Scythians. That's Ashkenazi. He settled in what's called a Scythopolis, ancient Beth Shan. You know, so we already understand this. This is locked history, and can't nothing on the face of the earth change the truth. And this is what I want to show you, Israelites. Is this here? Is that all right? Look, they say that Jew originated from the Israelites and the Hebrews of historical Israel and Judah, but we know that's false because it wasn't no J in so forth. Look, two related kingdoms that emerged in the Levant during the Iron Age. Although the earliest mention of Israel is inscribed in the Menepet Stela around 1213 to 1203 BCE, religious literature tells the story of Israelites going back at least as far as 1500 BCE. The kingdom of Israel fell. Look, the kingdom of Israel fell to the Neo-Assyrian Empire in around 722 BCE, and the kingdom of Judah to the Neo-Babylonian Empire in 586 BCE. So part of the Judean population was exiled to Babylon. The Syrian and Babylonian captivities regarded as representing the start of the Jewish diaspora. All right, wasn't no Assyrian captivity in the sense that they explain it, because I could show all the people still there. Now this is where they try to fit in that name Judah. Let's go look at another source. This is the this is the this is the Jewish Virtual Library. And now let's see what they say about that Israelite title and so forth during the Assyrian times, because this is gonna be where the Jew title come in. And let's see, I had it at one time. Let's see if I pull it up again. All right, but they all basically say the same thing, that during the Assyrian times that the folks was taken away. Look, in approximately 722 BCE, the kingdom of Judah was conquered by the kingdom of Israel was conquered by Assyria, and the 10 tribes were exiled from the land, which left only the tribes of Judah's kingdom to carry on Abraham's heritage. The people of Judah's kingdom called themselves and was known to other nations as Yehudians or Jews, a name still used today. Now that's false right there. Now that's false, because we can show that the people were still around after the so-called Assyrian captivity. And then this nonsense stuff gonna go back to the people that we abandon our heritage to. We abandoned our heritage to the Sephardics and Ashkenazi during the Babylonian Wars. So, it's quite natural that they gonna wanna fit themselves in nicely if they claiming a Israelite heritage. And one of the things that they did is try to use an incident that happened to us in history that really wasn't like how they recorded, and then turn it into something else, and then that's what they did when they come with that 10 lost tribe stuff. That 10 lost tribe. Now, the Tanakh ain't say nothing about no 10 lost tribes, And look here, I'm going to show you Israelites how, it's important to understand a timeline. And if you don't understand a timeline, man, folks, they create history and they just have you believing in all kind of stuff, because they take it for granted that you don't know when this come about. You don't understand nothing really about this Tanakh history, because you more or less been led by preachers and so forth. Preacher ain't gonna show you no truth. He ain't gonna show you no truth. He don't know. But because he teaching in the ways of the northern kingdom. See what I'm saying? Alright, Israelites, man, if you look at the timeline, the Assyrian so-called captivity happened around about 722 BCE, they say. That's, look, the fall of Samaria. Alright, now, 7 years later, those Israelites that was supposed to allegedly been taken from the northern kingdom, supposed to be gone from history from right now today, and they supposed to had been gone and no mention of them no more. But during King Hezekiah time, he explained that how the folks were still there and how they escaped the Assyrians. And then when you get down to his great grandson's history, King Josiah, you will see that he was a prophecy king and that he cleaned up the whole Israelite nation. You know, he cleaned up the whole Israelite nation, forced the ones from the northern kingdom to come on back to Yah worship. That's why come I say that if you wake up to this truth, you're gonna be 9 out of 10 a descendant from the tribe of Judah. If you wake up to this truth that I'm showing, easily understood. And then if you having trouble trying to figure it out and you struggling and it ain't making no sense to you, then you probably go be, you know what I'm saying, your ancestors from the northern kingdom. You know, that's where the demigod worship and all that stuff was, and how it took the tribe of Judah, you know what I'm saying, to keep the Yah torch going, and that's what we'll do. All right, let's show what King Hezekiah, our father, did. You know, he from the tribe of Judah. That's going to be one of our real good fathers. All right, let's show how he had the tribes at home. How he had the tribes at home. All right, let's go to Second Chronicles. Let's go to Second Chronicles 30. I think it's Second Chronicles 30. Let me find it. Yeah, Israelites, if you wake up easy to this truth, your ancestors gonna be more or less from the tribe of Judah. But if you having trouble waking up and it just make you dizzy and you can't understand nothing, then you probably gonna be your ancestors was from the northern kingdom. All right, and then listen here. We get to 30. This Hezekiah 30. This is in 715 BCE. Now this is after, you know, the Assyrians got destroyed in 612 BCE by Ashkenazi. You know what I'm saying? The Babylonians, the Scythians, and all the peoples that the Syrians used to rob, meaning eventually got them. So we know that the Syrians were still around all the way to 6, I think it was 612 BCE, the destruction of Nineveh, and the prophet Nahum called for its destruction, you know, especially after Syria got the big head. You know, we know Prophet Jonah had went there a time and told them to get right. Israelites hanging out in Syria, especially the tribe of Ephraim. I got all this in the videos and so forth. But look, Hezekiah sent word to all Israel. Look, Hezekiah sent word to all Israel and Judah, and also wrote letters to Ephraim and Manasseh. So this right here, that what I just read instantly turned that into a lie. In the prophet 723, the kingdom of Israel was conquered by Assyria, and the 10 tribes were exiled from the land. See, what they not showing is, yes, Israelites was taken from the northern kingdom, and I explained that it's 9 out of 10 gonna be the army, the northern kingdom's army. Reuben, Gad, and Manasseh would have been stationed throughout the northern kingdom and in garrisons, and that how that they would get snatched, as I showed in plenty of videos. I could show it again real easy. All right, go to Man, that'd be First Chronicles. You know, this is who the Assyrians needed. They needed the fighters, what they wanted everybody else for. You know, they wasn't finna take care of everybody else and stuff. You know, they only wanted the fighters and so forth. But if you go to First Chronicles and then we get to 5, look, the sons of this First Chronicles 5:18. The sons of Reuben and the Gadites and the half tribe of Manasseh, valiant men able to bear buckler and sword and shoot with bow and skillful in war, were 440,703 that went out to war. So you know they gonna be stationed throughout, you know, the northern kingdom, and then they protected Jeroboam Egyptian religion, you know, and then that will cause this to happen. And the Yah of Israel stirred up the spirit of Paul, king of Assyria, and the spirit of Tiglath, king of Assyria, and he carried them away, even the Reubenites and the Gadites and the half tribe of Manasseh. But let our enemies, let the folks that got control of our heritage right now tell it. They'll tell you that 10 tribes was taken away. But if you read King Hezekiah history, that was after the so-called Assyrian captivity. You'll see that everybody's still at home and he writing letters to them. Let's look at it again. Look. See, we're going to be from the tribe of Judah if you accept this truth and you understand. And if you struggling to understand this and you think you a Jew, then you're going to be from the northern kingdom. You're going to be kind of confused. You ain't going to too much know what's going on. Look, Hezekiah sent word to all Israel and Judah. He also wrote letters to Ephraim and Manasseh to come to the house of the Elohim in Jerusalem to keep the Passover for the Elohim Yah of Israel. The king and his officers and congregation in Jerusalem had agreed to keep the Passover in the 2nd month, for at the time they were unable to keep it, for not enough priests had sanctified themselves, nor had the people assembled in Jerusalem. The king and the whole congregation thought it was proper to issue a decree and proclaim throughout all Israel, look, from Beersheba even to Dan, that they should come and keep the Passover for the Elohim Yah of Israel in Jerusalem. Now, let's look and see, why would he send a letter from Beersheba to Dan if 10 tribes is gone? And this is Hezekiah's time, and mean that the Assyrians ain't finna whoop on nobody no more. They having troubles fighting for their life. Ashkenazi is at them. Ashkenazi is at them under the name Scythia. All right. Let's go to let's show this right here. It'll be. Let me see. All right. Let's get the map. And let's see about Beersheba today. All right. We see that, look, what they say, Beersheba. And they sent to, and look, that's Judah's inheritance. Like I said, look, Simon, Judah, and Benjamin. You know, that comprised the kingdom of Judah. You know, Judah was the big boss. You know, we was the Yah worshipers, the hardest Yah worshipers. Look, all right, he sent the letter all the way to Dan. All the way to Dan. Now look, that's our whole heritage right there. But guess who ain't there? Because of the Syrians. Then snatched them, to go do some fighting and so forth. But everybody else, King Hezekiah sent a letter to come on to the Passover dinner that he was having. Now let's read some more. So, you Israelites that think you Jewish, you don't know that the Jewish is going to be the people that we abandon our heritage to, and that we Israelites, we can show that it wasn't no 10 lost tribes and all of those stuff. Look, the king and the whole congregation thought it was proper to issue a decree and proclaim throughout all Israel from Beersheba to Dan that they should come and keep the Passover for the Elohim Yah of Israel in Jerusalem. Not often did they act in accord with what was written. The couriers went out with the letters from the king and his officers throughout what? Throughout all Israel, by order of the king, proclaiming, O you Israelites, return to the Elohim Yah of your fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, and he will return to the remain of you who escaped from the hand of the kings of Assyria. Now, why did they just sit here and say, look, this is their history that they telling you how they come in? Look, in approximately 722 BC. All right, this is when the Sebhardis was placed. This is when they was placed in 722 BC. They be slick telling you, but you have to read between the lines. All right, look, see them? All right, and now watch this here. Go to 2 Kings. 2 Kings 17:24. Look, and this is in 722 BC. Look, and the king of Assyria brought men from Babylon, and from Cutter, and from Abel, and from Hamath, and from Sepharvaim, and placed them in the cities of Samaria instead of the children of Israel. And they possessed Samaria and dwelt in the cities thereof. So now they telling you who they are in plain sight, but you have to read the Tanakh in order to understand this. But the people the Israelites who would quickly understand and embrace the truth, gonna be from the tribe of Judah. Cause we got to wake up. We got to wake up and lead the way. But you see how in 722 BC the king of Assyria brought them folks in. But they say that he took 10 out. Really, 10 was placed in our land. 10 of them was placed in 10 nations was placed in our land. From Assyrian times and so forth. Man, I'm talking about, I done named them so many times in so many of the videos. Let me see if I could just pull a little something up. Alright. I ain't turn right to it this time. Let's see. We got to go to Ezra. Here it is, right here. Look. Then wrote Shimi, that this is Ezra 4:9. Then wrote Shimi in the council, and Shimi the scribe, and the rest of his companions, and all of them, the Danites, the Arphichaphites, the Tarpalites, the Harsaphites, the Archivites, the Babylonians, the Sushanites, the Devites, the Elamites, and look, all them folks, look, that was a snapper brought over and set in the cities of Samaria. You know what I'm saying? So they, the king of Assyria, set them folks there, and not counting. Look, all these folks look from Cutter, Abel, and from Hamath. So when they say 10 lost tribes taken away, they really slick telling you that the 10 tribes was brung in, and then that would represent the Jewish community, all those folks, cause they from all over, man. I'm talking about all over the Mesopotamia area, and some are everywhere else. They was from some of some of everywhere else, all up in these parts and stuff. And then they placed in our land, and then when they go back and package our heritage into a religion, they just Spread the books out. It's still the same folks, the same thing with the same lie. So, you Israelites mean be accepting them folks' history. But you see, you, you can see how I just easily showed you that was false. That 10 lost tribe stuff, which is the foundation for the Jewish title, which go back to the groups of peoples that was placed in our land. Now let's go a little farther. Now we seen everybody at home doing King Hezekiah time. Now let's go to his great grandson, King Josiah. Now this will be, I think, how many years later? This ain't no whole bunch of years later. This about a good 50, 60 years later. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. And we still at home. Look, Josiah was 8 years old when he became king, and he reigned 31 years in Jerusalem. See, he gonna be of our lineage, cause it's easy, we the hard Yah worshipers, and we don't include no other worship with Yah worship, and we ain't adding no demigods or none of that. We gonna be from the tribe of Judah. Those who rocking with me and understand this truth real easy. I'm here to tell you, look, he did what was pleasing to the Elohim, following the ways of his father David without deviating to the right or to the left. In the 8th year of his reign, while he was still young, he began to seek the Yah of his father David. And in the 12th year, he began to purge Judah and Jerusalem of the shrines and scared posts and the idols and the molten images. At his bidding, they demolished the altars of Baal, and he had the incense stands above them cut down. He smashed the scared posts and the idols and the images and ground them into dust and stewed in unto the graves of those who had sacrificed to them. He burnt the bones of the priests of the altars and purged Judah and Jerusalem in the towns of Manasseh, Ephraim, Simon, as far as Naphtali. Look, so he done cleaned up the whole land too. If you look at the map, from Simon to Naphtali, look, from Simon all the way to Naphtali. So the tribes are still at home. The tribes are still at home. The 10 lost tribe myth that got everybody into our heritage is going to be used to get everybody out of our heritage by way of the Israelite Brotherhood and its family members, subscribers, that's going to be the real Yah worshipers and so forth. We got them. We got them. And them other Israelites, they going to pick up sooner or later. Some of them won't even take the credit for showing this truth. But we know that, that it come from us, the real Yah worshipers from the tribe of Judah who wake up to truth and show truth easily. Look, he burned the bones of the priests of the altars and purged Judah and Jerusalem in the towns of Manasseh, Ephraim, Simon, as far as Naphtali, lying in ruins on every side. He demolished the altars, the scared posts, and smashed the idols, ground them into dust, and he hewed down the incense stands throughout the land of Israel. Then he returned to Jerusalem. Look, he did it right. Man, he did it right. He cleaned up the land from that false worship. All right, Israelites. Them folks' history is based upon that 10 lost tribe myth, and then I just destroyed it. We're gonna look at it again. This is what they try to say that they come in, but if you look at this, look, after a little part of the Judean population was exiled to Syria, and all right, then they go down to the Persian times, and the exiled Jews were allowed men to return. Look, I show you that after the century rule, the Maccabees revolts. I show you all them folks from here on out during the Greek times. Gonna be when them folks come in. I got a video explaining how the exiles had to be destroyed. It couldn't be two covenants, one broken. Us running into Africa during the Babylonian wars to do the Egyptian religion, and then them little fruit lingering around thinking that they was gonna be alright. And then the book of Ezra, Nehemiah, Haggai, Zechariah, and Malachi explain what happened to them. Alright, Israelites, can we Israelites get back control of our heritage? Yes, if we teach it real truth and know the differences between Jewish history and Israelite history. You know, the people we abandon our heritage to got to have a history, and you have to accept their history. Now, their history is not real Israelite history, but it's up under the Israelite title, and that's where your wisdom and connection to the Creator should kick in. You know, if your forefathers in the past was a real strong Yah worship, then it's going to be easier for you to understand and see truth. But if you struggling and you barely trying to make it and understand truth, then your heritage going to lay with the forefathers in the northern kingdom and so forth. Look, the Amorites, man, they been in our heritage. The Amorites are the Sephardists. They just these from Babylon, and the ones from Babylon had more writing experiences than the ones that was in our land. The Amorites that we made, you know, carriers of wood and stuff under Joshua, and how that they wasn't as educated as the ones from Babylon. And the ones that come from Babylon, these group of Amorites, men, were the Babylonian god scribes. That kept the Babylonian gods' history and stuff. All the Babylonian gods' history, Noah, Jal, Murdoch, and all that. Well, they kept it alive and kept it going right now today. And then that when they come in by the king of Assyria, placing them there, and then that they start writing history immediately after the exiles were gone, and then that'll be all the history that the Israelites accept that's outside the Tanakh. You know, we're not going to get control of our heritage until we understand who has control of our heritage. Israelites think, you know, the folks are convert Khazars and so forth, and man just be so far in that field. It's almost a million different doctrines in the Israelite community, because everybody got like they own like little spin on the Israelite history, and it's not off to knock in recorded history like it's supposed to be. Alright, Israelites, man, I just wanted to share this. But look, and those are the Judean hills and so forth. And we supposed to settle in the hills when we go back home one day, and we supposed to overlook, you know, Jerusalem, be able to see Jerusalem and be up in the mountains on high and so forth to worship. Alright, Israelites, I pray that everybody doing well, and man, we're going to get something going and popping. For long, I pray to Almighty Yah. Shalom, Israelites. I pray that everybody get an understanding. And like I say, if you understand what I'm saying easily, man, you're going to be from the tribe of Judah. And if you having trouble understanding this history, then you're going to probably be ancestors from the northern kingdom.